excited. The big day, it's finally here.
Here he is, bro. What's going on? How you doing?
Thank you, man.
Yeah, you're straight, Leon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So my earliest memories of pro wrestling would be going over to my cousin's house at the time he lived, right next door to me, so it was super easy, and playing the video games. And then, of course, once my cousin kind of grew out of wrestling, I got all of his hand-me-downs. So that was the action figures, the replica belts, the video games, the DVDs.
Oh my God, Jeff Hardy, going for the Swanton Bomb. Ah!
That is where I truly, truly fell in love with professional wrestling. The first couple weeks of early training were unreal. They were super, super fun because it was all basic stuff. It was bumping, it was running the ropes, it was learning how to lock up, learning how to chain wrestle. And I was lucky enough to do like some jiu-jitsu when I was even younger. And this is like me at 9 years old, I started training. Very fortunate to where I don't really remember much about my dad. I have more wrestling memories from when I was little. Every single year when Father's Day rolls around, I remember that feeling inside of me that I don't have that, and that's not something that is nice to feel, and it's not something I enjoy. On the flip side of that, I know how it feels to have the best mum in the world. I know how it feels to have a supporting auntie, an uncle, a grandmother, a sister. So again, there's these two driving forces of I never want to feel forgotten again. I never want to feel like I can't have something because someone else doesn't want me, or that I'm not good enough, or that I can't have it because you say so. That's a driving force just as much as it's trying to prove all my supporters right and all my family right. That's what's driving me, man. Not only to prove people wrong, but I think more importantly, to prove people right.
There's a whole generation of people who are like TNA kids. And here's a person who grows up watching this brand.
Number one, the thing that I've watched is finally here, but number two, the thing that I've trained my whole life for is finally here. It feels very surreal.
Most people don't know what they want to do when they go to college. And they go, I find my major. He knew his major the first time he saw a professional wrestler.
I'm glad I got the Union Jack, you know, because I want to represent my country, you know? There's no one that's done this before, not from where I'm from, not from Bradford, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not from London, where I'm from the capital, and there's the big airports, and there's direct flights. I'm from Bradford, man. So the fact that I'm the first person from where I'm from to do this it's wild, man. It really, really is.
The UK is literally a tiny little island, and, you know, we have a lot of fantastic wrestling there, we have a lot of fantastic wrestling trainers, but you just get stuck. You get stuck in this little bubble, and it's somewhat easy to become the best there, but in the grand scheme of the world, you're still just the best on this tiny little island that no one really goes to.
You have to provide something so unique that they can take you from this little island that's 5,000 miles away and not just find a carbon copy of you in America. Because if they can find someone that wrestles like you, that talks like you, that looks like you, over here, why on earth would they not just pick that guy, and why would they pick you?
While it may seem difficult to, you know, live in our little country and make all these things happen, it's not impossible. It's just about trying, it's just about applying yourself correctly and doing all the right things, and I think Leon's the perfect example of that.
There's a few of us here now, and it's nice to hear a similar accent, but there's still only a few of us here in TNA from the UK, so I'm not only representing myself, my family, my friends, I've got a whole country on my back, I feel like, and it's not something that weighs me down, it's something that lifts me up, and it's something that keeps me pushing forward almost more than anything else.
I said it the day I met him, I think Leon's special. I think he was special back then. I think he's even more special now.
His style is very similar to how I used to wrestle also, and he does it at a crazier pace than I did.
But what stands out to me the most is I've never seen someone just pick up the game as quick as he did.
He's young in age, but his brain and his knowledge and his ability to adapt is like he's a 30-year vet. I look at him when I was his age, and he blows me away.
When Leon did the huge 450 Swanton and the Ultimate X match, I mean, it was terrifying.
That was just such an insane maneuver. I mean, I've had this my entire life with my brother Jeff, because he's been the guy that drew the blueprint for doing insane maneuvers.
That's well over 15 feet in the air, if not higher.
It's just something about pushing your body to the ultimate limits and to see what you can survive and very well experiment with what might end your career.
Slater is insane! Holy God! It was so high, and he hit so hard, and it could have been a career-ending deal.
Pretty scary dive, you know, at Rebellion. He walked away from it, but that could have been the end of it. We could have been talking about something different. We could be not talking about Leon today.
Everything you do has got to be calculated risk. I work with him day in and day out to try and make him calculate risk as safe and as healthy and as smart as possible. That's something we are actively doing every single day.
He reminds me so much of myself from back in the day, and that's super cool to see a certain human being like myself kind of existing again.
Any problems that I face just disappear when I'm in the ring. They disappear when I'm talking to this camera. They disappear when I'm cutting a promo. And I think it's been wrestling for me because that gap in my life was filled by wrestling. Because I didn't have a father figure there, I kind of had to find my own. Instead of it being an African man from Sierra Leone, it turned out to be a crazy wild man with dyed hair from North Carolina that does a swanton bomb. You know what I'm saying? So I think wrestling almost filled that gap that my dad left, and I think that's why I'm so hungry to succeed within wrestling.
It's just an honor to be able to, you know, to have a relationship with Leon and to kind of do whatever I can to help motivate him and continue to exist, to inspire him to exist, to inspire others.
A lot of people, myself included, fell into the trap of you gotta know when it's time to step up for yourself. You gotta know when it's time to make sure the spotlight is on you. And I think Leon's done an excellent job. I mean, you know how hard it is to tag with the Hardys? For you to get any type of attention or rub from them beyond, you know, just having a match with them, it's very difficult. And the crowd still reacted very positively. And that's how it should be done in wrestling. You use guys here and they're supposed to reach down and pull up another guy.
I think Leon's past the point of being a prospect now. I think he's been put in multiple tests. Now they're giving you the final test, right? The SAT. I guess I'm the SAT, right? The final test to see where he's at in his progression. And I have nothing but faith, and I expect him to knock it out of the park.
So I think this is a difficult test to pass because I don't really know what the qualifications to pass are. I don't know what the people in power are looking for. I don't have a pinpoint statement on what they want. We want this, we want this, we want this. And I can go, okay, I'm this, I'm this, and I'm this. I don't have that. So it's almost an invisible test paper that I'm trying to pass.
If you look at, I guess in professional wrestling, actual statistics, win-loss is one thing. But when you are given an opportunity to be a champion, how many people come out to see you? How many asses in seats? This is a test for that, to see if you can be the face of the company. How many t-shirts do you sell? How many meet and greets do you do? Ratings when you go out there and wrestle and every time you're on television.
This has taken everything that I've been learning, everything that I've been processing, everything that I've been applying for the past 18 months since I've been here, and seeing if I can apply it on the biggest stage. Because don't get me wrong, my goal here is to be the guy in TNA.
How do you literally carry a company on your back? I've carried a company on my back when I was in my 20s, and I felt no pressure to succeed, but there was always the pressure of failure. And if I didn't do it, what would happen to the company? I knew I would always be fine. Same with Leon. Leon will always be fine, but you want to set your career off.
There's so many people that are vying for that spot, and that's my goal too. And I have to prove at Slammiversary that I am not only in conversation with these guys to be one of the faces of TNA, but I want to stand above these guys and I want to have that #1 spot. So I think Slammiversary is going to be the first step in trying to claim that spot. And because I don't have these bullet points that I need to live up to, all I have to do is be myself to get that spot. everything moves so quick, and I don't think I've quite had the chance to really step back and realize what I'm doing. But the more I speak right now, the more I'm realizing it, that this is TNA Wrestling, a company that's been around for longer than I've been alive. It's the X Division belt, a belt that has been the signature championship of this promotion, which has been around for longer than I've been alive, right? And I'm gonna be challenging for it, which is a crazy, crazy, crazy sentence.
The X Division title is kind of like a stamp, you know, on TNA from back in the day. That was like the thing. It was like almost the X Games with pro wrestling to a certain extent. And it just brought that certain amount of extreme to TNA, this new wrestling dimension that had all these incredible athletes.
With the X Division title, there's a lot of dangerous tasks that you're going to be put through, depending if it's a match stipulation. But being the X Division champion, you have to deal with everything and anything that they throw at you.
When you think of the X Division, what do you think of? Action, excitement, innovation. It's getting harder and harder to do that nowadays in wrestling, right? Like you guys got freak athletes like Moose doing moonsaults and stuff like that. So to keep up with that level of competition, that level of innovation is daunting, really.
People wrestle for 15 years without even getting a sniff of an opportunity, right? Not even handed a contract. They don't even get a sniff of an opportunity. People have been wrestling for as long as I've been alive and they haven't even received an opportunity. So to be in this position where I'm getting all these opportunities and to be handed the opportunity that I have to work with TNA Wrestling is something I definitely don't take for granted.
Especially when you're young and there's high expectations on you. People know you're talented, they know you're very skilled, you're accelerating really quickly in your learning curve. I think when you get an opportunity like this, you have to seize it. You have to take it, you have to take the opportunity. And I have full confidence that he is going to absolutely relish in the moment. He has the chance to become the youngest TNA X Division champion ever.
You're going to have that little standard, man, that everybody's going to have their match, and then there's going to be the X Division match. And then that match always has to look and feel a little bit different than everybody else's match.
I had a couple words with Red. I just hope I can do his record justice, you know? I would hate to break that record just for it to mean nothing.
Pressure's on Leon, and I'm sure he's one of his own worst critics, and he gives himself a hard time when he shouldn't give himself a hard time, you know, a lot of times, because that's how we can be on ourselves. But he's a superhuman.
Super proud of you, bro. Thank you, boss. You're doing so much. Enjoy it. Here we go, baby.
This opportunity that Leon has, I don't think he's going to take it lightly, knowing him. But it is a make or break situation. Like a lot of cruiserweights, X Division guys, they kind of get stuck in limbo where they're like, oh, we need a great match, send this guy out. But with Leon taking on Moose, it's such a big stage. The expectation for that match has to be really high. Let me put it to you as a competitor. One of the only matches I'm worried about outdoing me is this match, Leon and Moose.
No denying. If there's anyone that would be more than happy to pass me on the table.
I am absolutely terrified about Slammiversary. Yes, I'm excited, and yes, I have full belief that it's gonna go well and I'm gonna knock it out of the park like I've been doing for the past year. But I'm absolutely petrified.
So Leon has to hit a home run. He's got to hit a home run out to the field, and catch the ball.
I'm gonna be the man around here, bro. I'm unstoppable. I'm unstoppable.
If everything else fails, if the ring breaks, if the story doesn't hit, if a big star doesn't show up. But did you see that X Division match? So that's the pressure that Leon needs to realize that he's stepping into. Do I think he can do it? Absolutely. Do I hope he does it? Absolutely. I just hope he doesn't crack under the pressure.
We gotta keep it calm. Wait till the video package hits if we got one. Zip it up, and then we'll get cracking.
Listen, there's always cameras in front of us. There's so many different things, but there's always a moment right before you go out through that curtain. And in that moment, if you can just talk to yourself and be like, this is my chance to live a dream and change my life forever. And you block out all the noise. And right before your music hits, and you go out there and you feel that adulation to the crowd, it's one of the most peaceful moments, also one of the most nerve-wracking moments.
Go!
So wherever your brain takes you, you have to really take that in. But then the other part of it is the crowd. When you walk out there and you see this enormous building full of people, it could get to you. You have to block out all that noise and then set your sights on your focus of your main goal to win the TNA X Division Championship and become the youngest person to ever do it and write your own record book.
That pressure is heavy, man.
Wrestling's weird, man. Sometimes you just lock eyes with someone and you know you're on the same page, or you lock eyes with someone and you see the deer in headlights. You know, wrestling is a very animalistic, barbaric, but at the same time, this beautiful dance.
Moose is a very, very special performer. Leon is a very, very special performer. I am extremely confident when these two get together, they will create magic. There will be pressure on Leon to live up to the expectations. I think he will achieve and bypass the great expectations that are out there for him during this match.
I think I'm scared of failing, and even more than that, honestly, I know I'm terrified of being forgotten. That is truly my worst fear. Like, ever since my dad left when I was little, I've always had this kind of deep feeling in me that I'm not good enough, or I've been forgotten. People don't care. So I think if I was to fail at Slammiversary, or if I was to kind of fizzle out in the next 6 months or so, I think that would kill me internally. But that's what I'm driving against. That's why I'm trying to be remembered. That's why I jump off of 20-foot things and crash to the ground. That's why I jump off the corner post every match. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing, and that's why at Slammiversary I kind of have to succeed. There's no other option, and I like being in that position.
Wrestling isn't about doing hot spots and about doing all his cool moves, because he can do a million cool moves, but it's when you tie this stuff together and the things you do in the middle and also the story you're telling, and do people value as a physical fighter, and that's something that's very important. He's going to go out there and he's going to take the smartest and the most wise, calculated risk that he can, but he's going to go out there and he's going to steal the show.
Championship can be anything that Leon wants it to be. The championship can be anything that any wrestler wants it to be. The easy route to be like, I'm going to defend this against anyone. If Leon finds his emotional connection to the X Division Championship, we did it! If I tell you I'm willing to die for this championship, that this championship saved my life, because I won this championship, I was able to finally buy that house for my wife or my mom, or it means more now.
It's not just a prop. It means so much. The lineage, and not only the lineage that I've grown up watching, right? It's something physical that I can hold. I can't give a good match to my mum. I can't go, hey mum, watch this match I had on Impact this week. It was really good. I can show her it, but I can't give her that. But the X Division belt, I can give her. It's physical validation that I can give. I can hang it up in my house. I can wake up if I want. I can go down to breakfast, and as my mum's nicely putting my breakfast out on a table, I can put the X Division Championship on that same table. I can go, there you go, mum. This is for you. That's what makes it so important. And that's not even touching on setting a record. I'm going to be the youngest person to ever win the X Division Championship. And for me, that's huge. For me, that goes back to my dad leaving and feeling forgotten and feeling like I'm not good enough.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you so much.
I can never be forgotten again. My name is going to be in the history books as long as I live. far, far past that until someone beats me, but I think they're gonna have a difficult time to beat a 20-year-old.
Congratulations. Thank you so much, man. Good, buddy. Thank you.
When I hear that, it says to me about Leon Slater, he's like me. That's why we did it. That's why we took these crazy chances. We said, put us in a tag team ladder match. Put us in a match with tables, ladders, and chairs. We want that because we want to do things that will be indelible.
Right now, Leon Slater Hardy, man Jeff Hardy, we're all champs. Welcome to the world, baby. Cheers, baby. Cheers. Yes, sir.
It's a perfect way to set off this crazy career that I hope I'm about to have. And hopefully this video that we're recording right now is something that's going to be looked on in 20, 25, 30 plus years, where I almost look like a little bit of a fortune teller.
We're the freaking industry ever. Yes, sir. Something about doing that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, boss. Thank you again. I'll never forget that.
I would never want to come down, bro. If you could sell this in a bottle, like, you'd be a millionaire. The people you see in a wrestling crowd aren't really the same people you're gonna see at a football game or a rugby game. We like some different stuff over here, you know? And I've always been not sure of where I fit in, you know? In wrestling, I've always felt like I fit in. So to be able to give that same feeling where someone can come to the show today and look at me, and maybe someone that looks like me is out in the crowd, you know? Or someone that's been through something similar that I have. There's no other profession where you can have something so real on such a wide scale, you know? The ability that we have to connect with people worldwide is insane. This is not only wrestling, but having the X Division belt is a phenomenal, no pun intended, vehicle to do that with, you know? Now that I've got this, my reach is wider, and hopefully I can inspire some more people, you know?
I do this to be remembered. We go through school, we go to university, we get a job, we work that job for 30, 40 years, we retire from that job, we go to an old person's home and we die, right? And yes, you leave an impression on the people you meet, but I want to leave a bigger impression than that. And for me, coming from a place where in my younger years, when I was growing up, I felt forgotten a lot. That's just something I can't have happen. I can't have people forget me anymore, and I need to be remembered.
Congrats, Leon.
Thank you so much, Jazz. Thank you.
Congrats.
Good day at the office, man.
Yeah, real good day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. TNA website, when you go on the Wikipedia, my name's gonna be there forever now. This day has been built up to for so long, and it's such a, like we've been saying all day, it's such a special thing. I feel like I just wanna enjoy every single second. Like, yeah, it's been a long day. Yeah, my body's tired. Yeah, my social battery's getting lower and lower, but you got to soak it all in, man, because you never know. You genuinely never know when this is gonna happen again. I know this is a huge step for me in accomplishing my goal. So I think the goal was accomplished today for sure.